It's 2 a.m. You've been staring at the same page of your textbook for 45 minutes. You've highlighted almost every single sentence. You've drunk enough caffeine to kill a small horse. But here's the terrifying truth. If I asked you right now to close the book and explain what you just read, you couldn't do it. You aren't stupid, you aren't lazy, you were just studying wrong. In the next few minutes, we are going to dismantle the way you've been taught to learn. We're going to look at neuroscience, psychology, and the habits of the world's top performers to turn you into an academic weapon. Put down the highlighter, let's get to work. Let's start with the biggest lie in the education system: rereading and highlighting. We have all done it. You have a history exam. You open the book, you read the chapter, you highlight the important parts, then you read it again. You feel good, right? The information feels familiar. But psychologists call this the illusion of competence. When you read something repeatedly, your brain recognizes the text visually. It says, "Oh, I've seen this before." But recognizing something is not the same as knowing it. Think of it like this. If you watch a master artist paint the Mona Lisa 5 times, does that mean you can pick up a brush and paint it perfectly? No, you just know what it looks like. When you reread your notes, you were just looking at the painting. You aren't practicing how to paint. This is why you blank out during exams. You recognize the material, but you never actually built the neural pathways to retrieve it. You were training your recognition, not your recall. So how do we fix this? If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this: active recall. This is the single most supported technique in the history of learning science. In 2013, a massive review of hundreds of studies ranked study techniques. Highlighting? Rated low utility. Rereading? Low utility. Active recall? High utility. Here's the mechanism. Learning doesn't happen when you are putting information into your brain. Learning happens when you try to pull information out of your brain.
Imagine your brain is a dense forest. The information is a cabin in the middle of that forest. The first time you learn something, you are hacking a path through the overgrown grass to find the cabin. It's hard. It takes effort. That struggle, that is neuroplasticity in action. That is your brain physically rewiring itself. If you just reread your notes, you're taking a helicopter to the cabin. It's easy, it's comfortable, but you aren't clearing the path on the ground. So when the exam comes, you're lost in the woods. So how do you do it? Step 1, read a paragraph or a page. Step 2, close the book. Step 3, ask yourself, what did I just read? And try to explain it without looking. It will feel uncomfortable. You will forget things. You will get frustrated. Good. That frustration is the feeling of your brain getting smarter. If your study session feels easy, you are wasting your time. Effective studying should feel mentally taxing, just like an effective gym workout should make your muscles burn. Now that you are retrieving information, we have to talk about timing. In the late 1800s, a German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered something terrifying: the forgetting curve. He found that if you learn something today and don't review it, you will forget about 50% of it by tomorrow. Within a week, you'll remember almost nothing. This is why cramming fails. You fill the bucket the night before, pass the test, and 3 days later the bucket is empty. This is bad for university, where knowledge builds on top of itself. To stop the leak, you need spaced repetition. You need to review the material at increasing intervals. You study it today, then review it tomorrow, then in 3 days, then in a week, then in a month. Every time you almost forget it and then force your brain to recall it, you reset the forgetting curve and the memory becomes stronger. You don't need a spreadsheet for this. Use apps like Anki or Quizlet. They have algorithms that handle the math for you. If you get a card wrong, it shows it to you again in 1 minute. If you get it right, it shows it to you in 4 days. It's efficiency, pure and simple. Okay, so you are memorizing facts, but do you understand them? There is a difference between knowing the name of something and knowing what it is. Enter Richard Feynman, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist who was famous for being able to explain quantum mechanics to people who had zero background in physics. He believed that complexity is often a mask for a lack of understanding. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Here is the Feynman Technique. Take a concept you're struggling with, let's say photosynthesis. Now, grab a blank sheet of paper. Imagine you are teaching this concept to a 5-year-old child. A 5-year-old doesn't understand jargon. You can't say, the chloroplasts utilize photons. You have to say, the plant has little green kitchens inside its leaves that catch sunlight to cook food. As you try to simplify, you will hit a wall. You'll realize, wait, I actually don't know how the plant turns sunlight into sugar. That is your gap. Go back to the source material, fill that gap, and try again. Once you can explain it simply, you own that knowledge forever.
We have the techniques. Now we need to talk about the battlefield. You are fighting a war against the most sophisticated distraction machines ever created. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, yes, even this platform. Your brain runs on dopamine. Social media gives you cheap, instant dopamine. Studying offers a delayed, slow reward. If your phone is on your desk, even if it's face down, your brain is using a percentage of its processing power just to ignore it. This is called attention residue. Every time you check a text, it takes your brain about 20 minutes to get back to 100% focus. If you check your phone every 15 minutes, you are literally never focused. You need to enter deep work mode. Put the phone in another room. Use a website blocker on your laptop. Clear your desk. If you can't focus for hours, that's fine. Use the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of intense, distraction-free work. 5 minutes of break. But here's the catch. During that 5-minute break, do not pick up your phone. If you switch from calculus to TikTok, you're blasting your brain with new information instead of letting the math settle. Let your brain be bored for 5 minutes. Boredom is when the memory consolidation happens. Let's talk about the hardware. You can have the best software, but if your hardware, your body, is broken, the computer will crash. The all-nighter is the stupidest thing you can do for your grades, period. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist and sleep expert, explains that sleep is not just rest, it is a save button. During the day, your hippocampus stores new information, but it has limited space. When you sleep, your brain moves that information from the short-term storage to the long-term hard drive. If you don't sleep, you don't save. You're better off studying for 2 hours and getting 8 hours of sleep than studying for 8 hours and getting 2 hours of sleep. Prioritize sleep like it's part of the assignment, because it is. Finally, we have to address the story you tell yourself. I'm not a math person. I have a bad memory. I'm just not smart enough. This is a fixed mindset. It's scientifically incorrect. The concept of neuroplasticity proves that your brain is physically changeable. When you struggle, you aren't hitting your limit, you're expanding it.
Stop saying, I can't do this. Start saying, I can't do this yet. The pain of studying is just growing pains. Embrace the confusion. Confusion is the sensation of learning. If you aren't confused, you aren't learning anything new. So let's wrap this up into a protocol you can start today. Number 1, stop passive review. Throw away the highlighter. Number 2, active recall. Test yourself constantly. If it feels hard, it's working. Number 3, spaced repetition. Review material at intervals. Use Anki. Number 4, Feynman Technique. Teach it to a 5-year-old to prove you understand it. Number 5, deep work. Remove the phone. Protect your focus. Number 6, sleep. Hit the save button every night. School isn't about suffering, it's about strategy. You don't need to study 12 hours a day, you need to study efficiently for 4 hours a day and then go enjoy your life. Be smart about your brain and your grades will follow. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It helps the algorithm show this to other students who are currently drowning in textbooks. And if you want more videos on how to hack your psychology and your life, subscribe and ring the bell. Tell me in the comments, what is the one subject you struggle with the most? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching and go get some sleep.